Welcome. Glad you're here in this community of amazing mothers learning how to parent consciously with compassion and with some boundaries so you don't sacrifice yourself. And one of the big topics that's been coming up a lot with clients is perimenopause. Now, it's something that I have not talked about, and I just created an incredible freebie offer called 3 Rules of Self-Care to Parent Well Through Perimenopause. And it's so much of the stuff that I've worked with clients on over the years, and I'd love to share with you guys. If you do want that, just so I know and am clear that that's what you're commenting about, just put the word freebie down below so that we can send it to you. It is a one-off video. And it will also let me know that you're interested in those type of resources, so we can kind of put you in that column and then send you anything else, any other offers along those lines. So here's the thing about perimenopause through parenting. When you have kids who are hitting adolescence and then puberty, and their mood swings are happening and their sleep regressions are happening, nobody talks about that. I can't tell you how many clients have their kids crawling back into their beds when they hit like 8, 9, 10. It's an interesting thing that happens. Anxiety spikes for girls, for boys as well, as emotional upheavals, new anxieties that you maybe haven't even ever seen before. What else? Picky eating. Lack of appetite. So many interesting things happen for kids when they hit this hormonal kind of journey, and at the same time, a lot of moms are also hitting perimenopause symptoms for the first time. So not only is your cycle irregular, your hormones are like changing, but there's just the annoying stuff like dry skin or hot flashes or interrupted sleep or shallow sleep, shitty sleep, um, all these things. And as well as irritability, you might feel like things that were just like kind of annoying before are causing rage. That is something that absolutely can happen, as well as just a kind of a flatness, like not enjoying your life, not enjoying, um, not getting excited about things, not feel just a loss of joy, not enjoying being around your family, rather be alone. A lot of women start to isolate at this point, at this stage of life, and the energy's low. So it makes sense. It's not like any of these things are bad, if you're doing this, it's bad. It's not like that. It's just you're coping. You're coping with the energy changing, with the landscape of health changing. Oh, weight gain, that's another big one. The body just feels like, whose body is this? I went through that. Like, whose body is this? I'm still kind of working my way through that now. Just like changing and catching up with what's going on in me, in my body. And you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm all about conscious creation, like choosing what you want, intentionally creating the relationships you want with your kids, intentionally creating the joy for yourself that you want, not waiting for life to hand it to you, not waiting for a partner or a husband to like rescue you. It's the most amazing bird. It's so huge. I wish I could show you guys. That must be a huge heron. Oh my god. I'm so distracted. I love birds so much. I'm a bird nerd. So the bird started chirping for me when I said that. Not waiting for anybody to like make it better for you, because I'll promise you one thing: life will continue to happen. Stuff will continue to happen. Your kids will have a crisis. Someone will die. Your your house will grow mold. Your water heater will need to be replaced. Shit is just going to happen because that is life. But who are you deciding to be anyway? Who are you deciding to what are you deciding to prioritize? Who are you going to be? Life is always going to happen, but we have a choice about how we feel in it, and we have a choice about what we choose to magnetize, what we choose to attract. Okay? So if I am getting crappy sleep, if I'm irritable, if I'm snapping at kids and I go, let's just, it's the perimenopause. I'm using that as an excuse or a crutch to continue to live like a half life. We do this all the time with all kinds of things. I often like whatever, whether it's blood type or whether it's God knows what's going on in my system that isn't resolved yet. I'll catch a little, like a little, like 50% of my daughters, some virus that one of my kids will bring home. And then it's just like, what the hell, 2, 3, 4 weeks later, I'm like, oh my God, I'm finally just starting to feel better. And then they'll bring home another one, and please tell me if I'm not alone in this. Please tell me I am not alone in it. And it's like, oh my God, again, like I have another cold, like my energy hasn't caught back up yet from the first one. I still am kind of like a little bit viral. So, that's one of my things I'm working out. But if I looked at that and said like, oh, well, because of that, I can't really, like, I'm just kind of flat. I don't I don't have fun. I don't have the energy to go out and have fun. And believe me, I've caught myself doing this in the past. Like when I was having health challenges, like, oh, I don't have the energy to go out and meet a friend or, make a playtime with another family or whatever it is. If I did that and used that as an excuse to live smaller or to not do enjoyable things, my life would get smaller and smaller. It would start to look a lot like depression. It would start to look a lot like isolation. So if these things are going on for you, these are signs you need to pay attention to, in terms of, how do we adapt to life? Like, I can't go back to when I was 35 and feel like that. I can't go back to when I was 30 and feel like that. And it's amazing to travel the world again like I did in my late 20s and early 30s and just like cycle through Southeast Asia and hang out on the beaches in Vietnam. And I've done all those things and it's super amazing. Um, but those are amazing memories. But that kind of youth is something, that kind of like vitality or whatever is something that does change over time. So I don't want to sit here and like wishing that it was different. What I want to do is learn how to adapt to the life I have now and live well in it and have a beautiful, expansive life now and enjoy it now and find ways to have fun now. Right? Hi, Stephanie. I'm glad you're here. Can you hear me? Is this sound like, am I just speaking to myself? Can you tell me? I can't see any comments. So, if you can let me know. Um, I am, I am just like really noticing and tracking with all of our clients that as energy changes, as life stages move on, kids move into adolescence, they're teenagers, they're doing teenager things, they're acting like teenagers, and okay, thank you so much for letting me know. It sounds okay. And as parents, moms are moving into perimenopause and or menopause, and like feeling different in their body, that you can either kind of get stuck in feeling bummed out and then be mean to your kids, snappish to your kids, dissociate, numb out, isolate, resist. You can do all of that, or you can adapt. You can adapt. And I will tell you through the many years that I have been working with women who are highly sensitive, who are empaths, perfectionists, a lot of my clients are perfectionists, and the resistance to change is real. And the brain is rigid. When you're like perfectionist type or type A overachiever, the brain is rigid. Just practiced, it's usually a trauma response rooting back into something from earlier in life. But that kind of rigidity of not being able to adjust, adapt, pivot, quickly adapt and grow is what creates friction with your kids. It's what makes parenting, especially strong-willed kids, a nightmare because they dig their heels in. They're not going to change either. So we have to be the ones. I had to really reckon with this part of me when I had my first child, and I was late to life parent. I was in my late 30s when I had her, and it was a real coming home to roost. All of my strong-willed nature, having to be the one to forgive first, be the one to adapt be the one to adjust, be the one to be willing to see things differently. Because when you are going head to head trying to convince someone else they're wrong, everybody loses. Everybody loses. So what do I need to develop in me? What do you need in order to learn, in order to adapt to what's going on for you, in order to be a present mom, despite all the changes in your body and your teens changing? What do you need? It is a skill set. It is a skill set that is, I'm going to liken it to being adaptive, being able to be flexible in your mindset, flexible in the way you think about things, and emotionally flexible. And nobody's talking about this. But the problem that causes so much grief and blow-ups with your kids, or even ultimately depression as an adult, is being rigid in your thinking and inflexible with what you feel. We get into this like it's not fair mindset. I shouldn't feel like I shouldn't be having to deal with this. And then we get stuck in it and we are attached to it. We are attached to that. I want to feel the way I want to feel. I don't want to give up my anger. I don't want to forgive. I don't want to have to work harder for my kids, for my husband. You don't have to work harder. But what you need to really realize is that if you're unwilling to change, if you're unwilling to work on you and develop your own capacity to have a higher emotional intelligence, for example, be more flexible in your feelings, resolve trauma that's been hanging out there for a long time. If you're unwilling, how can you expect anyone else to do anything differently? You can't. That's not fair. That's really not fair. So when you hear this, I want you to just, really be honest with yourself and ask yourself, like, would I like it to look different? Am I sitting here wishing that my kids' behavior would change, or that I would have some magic wand in parenting and know what to do? I can help you with that. um, that is a part of our programs and how I help clients in Awakened Motherhood to know exactly how to parent the kid that they have. But if you're feeling stuck and like, oh my God, it's perimenopause, I need to go on HRT and then everything will be better. Spoiler alert. It's not all going to get better. It's not. That doesn't fix anything. I know friends who went on it for, thinking it would help with the weight gain. It's like, it's the same thing. But anyway, maybe there'd be marginal differences. But this is such a new field. We don't know a lot about it. And thankfully, there are a lot of people kind of picking up the charge, and women in the field of holistic medicine that are testing things and researching things and figuring it out. But you still have to parent your kids the whole way through. And with that added stressor, the more you understand yourself and how to be flexible and adaptable in your emotions, in your thoughts, in how you parent your strong-willed kids, your tough kids, in how you um, handle your own challenges, the easier it's going to be for you. The key is here, it doesn't have to feel hard. It doesn't have to be a fight. And you don't have to scrape by, just scraping by, white knuckling. It doesn't have to be like that. You can absolutely find an approach that is accepting of where you are, allowing of where you are and where you need to be, whether that's lower energy or moving slower. If you find yourself fighting that and you're not enjoying it, then just say freebie below. I will give you my 3 rules of self-care for parenting well through perimenopause. And especially if you're a mom in the sandwich generation, you need this one. So just say freebie below. We will get you guys the resource, and you can check that one out. And then let me know if that is helpful for you. Let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think of this. I don't want to just talk to nobody here. If I don't know what you guys are liking or what you're watching, I have no idea what content to create for you. And I might just go back into my little corner and be like, nobody's listening. What do they even want? Why am I even doing this? I'm human. I have my moment. So you need to tell me what you want, what's helpful. What are you going through that I'm talking about? I need to know. Put it below. And look at the ocean. So beautiful. All right. Peace, you guys.